Hi, I'm Jinx, and welcome to Anyland. Welcome to the Zork White House. Yes, Zork. That Zork. Infocom. The legendary text adventure, of course. This is my recreation of the house, some of the surrounding area, the basement, a couple extra rooms from Zork. Yes, the text adventure. With Delco's help and many items he decor and stuff that he designed in here as we hung out with Emily in 2018 to make this. I was directly inspired by the Ready Player One book, where one of the challenges was having to go through a virtual reality recreation of the entire game of the first Zork 1, you know. I thought that was clever. I thought that was super interesting because as a text adventure, there's nothing to directly recreate. Like if you're going to recreate, I don't know, let's say King's Quest 1 was something I had in my project list to recreate, yes, all of, in Anyland. And except for Rumpelstiltskin's name, I actually came up with a lot of ideas that would have been totally viable. I think, I think we could have done it. But it would have been huge undertakings, which is why I never started and such. Anyway, a text adventure, recreating that in virtual reality, you have to use your own imagination, the imagination that you're using to play the text adventure game. Graphics don't matter at all, gameplay first. I used to cite Pong as the ultimate example of that, gameplay first. But I think it's better to cite a text adventure, where you can't get better graphics than your own imagination, right? I mean, assuming you have an imagination. Anyway, Ready Player One book, they described that the whole game was recreated as a world in virtual reality, and people could actually play it. And ahead of the Ready Player One movie, which did not do this at all, but we didn't know that till it came out, I had this idea that I tossed this back and forth with Delco, like, what if ahead of the movie, I was kind of expecting that it would be in the movie. I didn't know how much would change, and that's a good thing that things had changed for the visual medium of a movie and not a book. Anyway, I was like, what if we actually did some of that, recreate some of the experience of the Zork, the White House, the basement, some of the initial areas, not the whole freaking thing, because wow. But what if we did a pretty cool representation that people could come and experience some of the puzzles? Yes, the puzzles. And what if, you know, you could just kind of get some immersion in that? That would be pretty cool. That would be doable. I do recommend that you play Zork. You can find it online for free, recreations of it. Run a web browser. Just set aside at least 30 minutes just to sample it, get the vibe of it. Who knows, maybe you'll start playing a lot more. It's a brilliant game. It's still brilliant. I could go on and on about it. I won't, because we're going to get on with this video, where I'm going to walk through this recreation and, show it off. So, switching to my point of view. So actually I'm starting, we'll turn around, west of the house, with a boarded up door and a mailbox with a leaflet in it. Yes. A couple things. In the leaflet, just like in the game, except the mailbox is already open. Welcome to Zork. Zork is a game of adventure, danger, and low cunning. In it, you will explore some of the most amazing territory ever seen by mortals. No computer should be without one. It's true. I recreated the leaflet in my lemon lime green, and on the back, I added Anyland Port by Jinx, 2018 select rooms. Additional things made by Delco. Because, awesomeness. The extra special thing I did for this world is this. If you want to see the original Zork text descriptions of each room, carry this in hand as you explore. I'm going to do that for this video. So this chat bubble looking device changes color, and as you go to each recreation of like a screen in Zork, it triggers text to show up like this, okay? West of house. You are standing in an open field west of a white house with a boarded front door. There's a small mailbox here. Yep, that's exactly what it says when you first start playing Zork. You start right here, and off you go. Which way do you go? Well, you could go this way. South of house. You are facing south side of a white house. There is no door here, and the windows are boarded. Okay, there's one window. I know that some of the maps, maybe cover art of Zork, the White House was large, like a large house, almost mansion, perhaps. When recreating this, I made it obviously smaller. I was literally only recreating the rooms and then the house to fit that scale. I wasn't adding a ton of rooms. I wasn't trying to make a giant house where you just can't access most of it. So I just kind of ran with that. So it's kind of small scale. That's okay. I really enjoyed creating a house to make it look realistic, and it was a challenge for me architecturally. Also, this is going to go through all the puzzles, which I'm about to show, but just to point out that yes, just like in the original game, the front door is boarded up. Guess what? Just like in the game, you can't go through the front door. I've been hanging out with friends in the living room, which is beyond that door, and people warp into this world, and then Philistines, really, they clip themselves through this door just to get in. It's like, this is the puzzle map, you know. Right? So let's move on. I surrounded the whole place in with mountains. Of course, that's an old kind of video game trick, but I didn't want to do like a dense infinite forest, and this was before Shoat and other efficiencies in Anyland that especially Delco and I came to learn and appreciate when we made like the Raven's Witches, for example. So everything is just rendering as it is. And as we go under the living room, down there are a whole bunch of things. And like standing here right now, they're all rendering, even though I can't see them. And so trees will pop in and out. And you can see there are no trees that way, but as I walk this way, trees pop in. It is what it is. So, alright, now we are north of house. You are facing the north side of a White House. There is no door here, and all the windows are boarded up. To the north, a narrow path winds through the trees. That's not obvious, but maybe it is because that tree looks different. You can just wander around, but specifically, this tree, it is climbable. And what's up there? Oh yes, just like in the game, as you would expect, the jewel-encrusted egg, which is a holdable. Okay, you don't have to play this. This isn't playing the whole game. You don't need to get all the trophies and put them in the trophy case, although there is one. I'm just going to jump down. But we did take care to recreate things where they should be. And since at the beginning you can go that way and get up that tree, there should be that egg. So Delco made a beautiful egg for me. For us, really. So here we are getting around the back of the house. Trees popping in. That's cool. Yeah. Behind house. You're behind the White House. A path leads to the forest, into the forest to the east. In one corner of the house, there is a small window which is slightly ajar. So that's the path, and the dirt kind of mounds, whatever. But again, bordered off by mountainous, impassable mountains. You could go that way in the game, but again, I was trying to border things off. Cool thing to point out, going back around here, the side of the house where I started, well, you see it here. That's because in Anyland, text is only visible one direction, so there are two pieces of text, back to back. Anyway, text will also vanish within 30 seconds when you walk away, when it's away from this, because there's a tell command that activates it first. So if I drop this and I start walking on, which I might do later, who knows, text won't show up, or it'll stop showing up, vanish and stuff. Anyway, moving on. Just like in the game, a window that is slightly ajar. Everything else is boarded up. Just totally boarded up. Every window you can see in this house, on the sides. So when you come around back, I mean, the text in the original game that says that definitely clues you in that you should do something with the window. Here in VR, it's visual medium. So the board is down. It's not boarded up, and it's a little up. So you come in here, like, okay, oh, it's a living room. That way, after a kitchen. Oh. Now, yes, you could... Ha! No, you can't. Hee. Very smart. I did an invisible thing right here so that you can't just teleport in. You can't just hit your teleport line and end up on the tile floor of the kitchen. You actually do have to grab and lift the window itself to open it, just like in the game. And you step in. This is... Okay, now I'm in the kitchen. Nice kitchen. Well, small, but sufficient. So, kitchen. You are in the kitchen of the White House. A table seems to have been used recently for the preparation of food. A passage leads to the west, and a dark staircase can be seen leading upward. A dark chimney leads down, and to the east is a small window, which is open. That's the one I came in. On the table is an elongated brown sack, smelling of hot peppers. A bottle is sitting on the table. So check it out. Dark, right? Chimney, which can't do anything with from this direction. Small brown sack. Preparing food. Delco made, some food and pepper looking slices. And then a bottle of water. Yeah, so in the game you can grab the bottle of water. We'll just leave it here. Some closets and a broom. Fun thing in here at the cabinets that I made. I actually made one hollow. I believe it's this one. Yep, and you have to grip and grab it. Captain Crunch box with... Yeah, anyone who's aware of freaking. This is a Captain Crunch whistle from the old cereal. Also, homage to the Ready Player One book, where that comes into play. Fun stuff. So, dark stairwell. I'm sure on video it's pitch black. It's almost pitch black here, but we'll be back with a key item. Shelf with stuff. So here we go, into the living room. Okay, so we have the trophy case with an elvish sword of antiquity and a lantern. And then my old style unrealistically swinging pendulum Grand Theft Auto clock before Delco fixed them for me. Dark couch, bookshelf, which has, yes, the original cover art of the original box of Zork. And see, there's a large house in the cover art, much larger than what I've recreated here. And it looks like that's for the Trash 80 version. Radio Shack, love it. Anyway, let me read the description. Living room. You are in the living room. There is a doorway to the east and a wooden door with strange Gothic lettering to the west, which appears to be nailed shut. A trophy case and and a large oriental rug in the center of the room. Above the trophy case hangs an elvish sword of great antiquity. A battery-powered brass lantern is on the trophy case. Alright, so... Oriental rug. It says Gothic lettering, but I decided to make some glyphs, basically. And I've used these exact glyphs a few times. In Jinx Mansion, in some of the Haunted Worlds. It just became convenient. It's locked, like I said. And this is the door, the front door, which is also locked and boarded up from the other side. Windows are in the same places where the boarded up windows are, except, I didn't put holes for windows in the superstructure of the house. These windows are tacked on this side with some drapery, curtains. And then the boards are flat with a texture right on the inside of the panes, which is fun. And then, hint, move the rug aside and it will roll up. It's a puzzle game, and it's meant for already fans of Zork, yes. However, even in the original game, things are a bit hidden or tricky. So, in Anyland, in VR, if people came in here and the title of this place is Zork White House, they might literally think it's just this part of the house. They might not even realize that you can interact with the rug. They might just think that's a red rug on the floor, just some decor. So I know we put the hint there so you can see more. It's awesome. This, let's see, hold on, is the best pen in Anyland. I just wanted to show Delco's recreation. Yeah, 2018 Goodness. So, Elvish Sword of Antiquity. Yes. And the lantern. And you know what? My hand's going to get full fast. I'm going to drop this, so we won't see the rest of the text descriptions. But rest assured that every room has the appropriate text description floating, basically, in a legible spot to pop up. So I'm going to take this lantern and hit trigger. Yes, Delco's awesome lantern, which gives, it's battery operated. So it gives the bzzz sound when you turn it on. First, I'm going to go up the dark staircase. You can see it's stairs, the stairs, into, what? Where are we going? The attic. And I like that I did a low ceiling that's slanted. It definitely feels like an attic space, even though, yeah, it's only one floor up from a kitchen, whatever. What do we find? Well, some boxes that will prevent us from going any further. And, yeah, that's a nasty looking knife. So in the game, you need this. I don't, so add it with the things, right? There's also, from the game, the rope. I like this rope. I don't think we ever made a coil of rope, Delco and I, before this. And I was like, you know, we'll just take some circle pieces, stack them, and with this texture, do a bunch of those and a sticky out piece, and it'll look good enough as rope. So, come back down. We'll go to the rug. Again, that's the trophy case where in the real game you store the trophies so you can get them all and beat the game. Yeah, of course. But this isn't the full game. It's just a recreation, interactive recreation. So we don't have to worry about that part. The rug. Push it aside and it rolls up to reveal the trapdoor. Oh yes. Oh yes. And when I open the trapdoor, there's a little ladder straight down and then some stairs into a cellar. And when I designed this area, I have a really good memory of this, and I think there's a picture. I was down there, I was kind of down, yeah, here. And Delco and Emily were hanging out, I think, playing music videos with a big screen. Before I made the trapdoor. And we took a good group photo together with that, and I just have really fond memories of us all hanging out that way. So, here we go, down into the cellar. Oh, and the description for the cellar, if you've played Zork, says it's dark and low ceiling, and, you know, all that stuff. So, fun things. Delco and I often do text descriptions for things that are jokes, and just in case anyone ever were to context laser a thing. So with this step ladder, this is my step ladder. I never knew my real ladder. So we like all those fun jokes. Okay, so let me hold this again, turn it on. Anyway, here in the cellar, we can go this way. It says crawl because it is, you need to be down. You don't necessarily have to crawl in real life for this, but you do need to at least crouch down as you teleport, and you can get through there in one teleport if you really can't be crouched down. So cellar, piping, we have some sort of hot water cooler, or hot water heater even, a tank, let's just say, hooked up to the pipings. I've reused this exact thing a couple times, which is cool. It became very versatile. Same with the pipes. Delco made these pipes leak. There it goes. And look, it's so dangerous because we have a circuit box with a busted wire that's not plugged in, and run the wire, looks like duct tape, electrical tape, with an open wire near the drip. Oh, that is dangerous. But of course, Delco and I love to add little things like that. Only if you look and notice, you'll notice these fun details in our worlds that we always add something. So just to point out again, this is the metallic slide or whatever it was that you can't go back up, but I think that comes back from the maze maybe, and it sends you back in a one-way direction here. So had to add that, but you can't go anywhere. And in fact, at the top of this, let's see, like the top of that, yeah. And just above the ceiling, what is out there? That is the dirt where the trees are, where you started, actually. You can sometimes hear this drip sound effect when you're outside if you're really quiet. You can hear it like boom, boom. So that's how close we are. So, another way you can go in Zork is this way. Now we used the one brick texture, of course, in Anyland, but then we added a second texture to make it look grimy. Ew, right? And doing red brick like this in walls always reminds me of Wolfenstein 3D and creating maps and levels in Wolfenstein, because that's one of the textures. So we'll come through here, come through here. Important, you got to make your space like that at least one brick wide, and don't do a super thin wall. Remember that, designers. So we come through here, and oh my god, what is that? Yeah, that's the troll. The troll room. So, as a fun little thing, we didn't create a combat system for this map. We're just recreating rooms. So I made this big ugly troll guy, and I used him, at least in Haunted Wood Trails 2, in the wood trail, just because he fit Halloween and being a big scary guy. He growls when you get close to him, spooky. He also follows you. Yeah. I did use him in the Monster Mash dining hall towards the end of Haunted Wood Trails 3, which is fun. So, candles to light up the room. And you see the bloody walls now. The brick, but it's bloody. And the floor is kind of bloody. Ew. And there's blood texture on his battle axe. So, that just is the dead end for this side. Just kind of like, oh, well, since there's no combat system, you can't fight him, and this is just a suggested dead end. So, in the game, you could go this way. We made it unwalkable. And there's nothing left and right of there. It just goes for a little bit. There's nothing there. And, hey, don't twist your head around. Don't hurt yourself. Over here, there's the pit. The pit where you can't see in the bottom. And I know it won't even show up very well in a video, but I can't see the bottom. Yeah, I know. There's no way. Watching that light go down, there is no way I would have seen that. Gee, I shouldn't have thrown the lantern away because I'm going to need that. So, we'll come back here and open this. Nope, open. There we go. Climb up the ladder. And up top. Yep, I'll just grab another. It's cool. Remember, you would have had to come back up yourself to deliver trophies into this case if that was in the game, in our recreation of the game. So, back in the cellar. One way to go. And it's this way. Broken out brick. I love doing that. I did that a couple of times, especially in towards the start of Haunted Wood Trails 2 when you go to the jail. I like having a spot where there's brick, and the brick itself seems to actually be rendered with parts, not just the texture. I like doing that. I also like putting brick in the... Yeah, anyway. So, friendly lettering, like I said, crawl. I'm going to get down low and just zip through here fast. Yeah. Okay. All right, here we are. Now we are, what? East of Chasm. Yes. And I remember when I first played Zork a very long time ago. Reading that, I thought it said Chasm. Go figure. So you can't get over to that side of the chasm, and you can't see down. It's foggy. So that floor is super far down. I think there might actually be a floor to it at all, but the walls go way down. And the Anyland area fog that we set is more visible than just pure void. So you can't go that way. You can only go one way. This way. Where? To the gallery. Oh, where are all the paintings? In the game, when you get to the art gallery room, it says that some vandals with, exquisite taste have stolen all the art pieces. But there's one left that you yourself can take. So, first of all, to give the impression that paintings were here, I used a translucent gray square, rectangle, on the wall with a couple of screws, nails, something like that. I did that because if you think about a painting that's been up for a very long time and the paint of the walls or something faded, and you remove the painting, you're going to see the original color behind where the painting was. So it worked out really well to imply that there were paintings there, like in an art gallery or a museum with benches to just sit there and observe. Just sit, observe the wonderfulness without being disturbed, without having to stand. So this lady painting, but it's really composed of parts. This I made actually for Jinx Mansion. I think in Jinx Mansion, I'm trying to think. There are two paintings I made with parts. But hers, she either like her eyes will follow you, like scripted to follow you, and when you get close they stop, like this, like the static like this one is. Or it's, yeah, that's it. So the other one I made is a guy. I always joked he looked like a vampire. His eyes slowly go to the side and then jump back, and slowly go to the side and then jump back, so it's fun. So when I made this, I didn't feel like creating a brand new painting of any sort or importing art to use as, like a JPEG imported. So I was like, well, I made a kind of fake painting using parts. You can see the same part I use for the underground caves all the time. I just, grabbed this, and hey, it's holdable because in the game you are supposed to take a copy of the painting. Psh, whatever. So one last room in here that you can go to is right through here. Open door. Wow, I must say, there must be at least 69 colors of paints splattered in this room, right? This is the studio, the art studio. Clearly, where the artist, canvases, paint, where the artist was creating those paintings. Sure. I had a lot of fun with this room. I really enjoyed creating fake canvases, some paint cans, the easel, the little stool, just the paint splatters everywhere, using both textures, 2 layers of textures, and some parts, some flattened circle parts that I just spread around and then made into one thing and then copied a couple times and rotated them. So, in fact, I think the best example right here, yep, this wall has blue and pink circles as textures on this wall. But the green, see, it's just kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever there. The green are actually one thing, several parts, and just slapped up there. So, fun stuff. Worked out really well. So in the art studio, just show off that. Will be where we go last. But just like in the game, there's a piece of paper on the wall. What does the paper say? It says, "Congratulations. You are the privileged owner of Zork 1, the Great Underground Empire, a self-contained and self-maintaining universe. If used and maintained in accordance with normal operating practices for small universes, Zork will provide many months of trouble-free operation. Indeed, we've never had a problem with this world, of course." So, the chimney. Well, where do we see a chimney before? We go up. Yep. Just tap up there, and you end up back in the kitchen. Pretty cool. I dig it. So, just come back through here, and get a nice pass through of what I was talking about with the front facade of the house. This was my recreation of the Zork White House, the very beginning of the legendary text adventure game Zork. I thought it was super awesome to make in VR so that people could experience the puzzles and walk through a full virtual rendering of what only existed in text originally. And I had a lot of fun building it with my friends, and I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed being with people, going through here and people who know Zork also told me it was very enjoyable. So it's good stuff. Just wanted to archive it here for good measure. And have a good evening. Deactivate recording mode.